Hi, welcome to RCSP Florida. Today I'm going to show you what you can shoot if you get to your location and the weatherman was wrong in his forecast. Instead of clearing skies, you have a heavy overcast and a very dreary day for photography. That's what happened to me this weekend. I went down to Lido Beach in Sarasota, Florida to shoot black skimmers and shorebirds. I wanted to get down there earlier in the year while their babies were still little, but because of the rookery shoot, I never got a chance. The babies are almost grown now and begging mom for food all the time, as you will see later. The weather was so bad you could barely distinguish the sky from the Gulf of Mexico. I kept thinking it would get better, but it never did. So I did what I always do. When you're given lemons, you just make lemonade. I had hoped to get some nice flight shots, but with only marginal light, I was only able to grab a few before the weather turned even worse. The ones I was able to get had some motion blur in the wings because I was not able to get my shutter speed up high enough. With the Canon 7D Mark II, if you get the ISO over about 800, you begin to introduce a lot of noise, so I kept mine at ISO 800 in the settings. Even the ones I was able to get had to be rescued in Photoshop to have an acceptable picture. You'll find that Lightroom and Photoshop are your best friend when you have low light. The Gulf looked very angry because Tropical Storm Barry had been churning up the Gulf for several days before heading west and then north toward Louisiana. As you can see from these pictures and video, the wave action was pretty intense for the Gulf of Mexico, which is normally much calmer. This was an old fishing trap that washed up on the beach and added a nice foreground for this shot. Look how big the wave is crashing behind it. Shooting video was far easier than shooting good stills. The 1/60th shutter speed with video gives you plenty of leeway with your aperture. I still had to stop way down to get the exposure correct, but never had to use an ND filter, although I did have to go to 1/125th several times to keep it under control. None of the photos I got were award-winning because they still had some noise, but mostly because with poor light there isn't a lot of definition, and that's what makes a good photo. As I always say, a bad day of photography is still better than a good day at work. So shoot whatever Mother Nature gives you and learn how to make the most out of a bad weather day. You can still capture some great landscape shots or birds and wildlife that aren't constantly moving. This juvenile black skimmer about bowls mom over just as she tries to tuck her head under her wing and take a nap. She then just walks off and leaves him there. I'm sure she'll be glad when he or she takes off on their own. This reddish egret showed up for a short time, allowing me to get a short video and a few stills. This juvenile black skimmer looks like he's dead, but a lot of skimmers lay their beak on the ground to take a nap. I guess that large beak gets heavy after a while. The flying birds may have to wait until another day, but there is always something to take a picture of. It is excellent practice for getting you to slow down and think about each shot because to get it, you have to do something different than you are used to doing. We bird photographers are used to 1/1000th to 1/4000th of a second as a shutter speed, but on a day like this, all you'll get is a black screen. Using your histogram is a must on a day like this, or if you're shooting a DSLR, there will be a lot of chimping going on. Those of you shooting mirrorless have it much easier since what you see is what you get. Either way, it causes you to think out of the box, and that improves your photography. I think it is a challenge to shoot in weather like this, and that's why I try to make the most out of what I'm given. Try it, you may find you like the challenge as well. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more of my videos, please hit the subscribe button. I would appreciate that. Hit the bell button if you want to be notified when I post a new video. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.